Hi everyone, this is Neil Toff from closeup. As promised, we're putting together as a first attempt a recap via video via Google Hangout. We gave it the hopefully cute name of Wrap Up Time. Yesterday's ICMI chat, that's hashtag ICMI chat, was about culture in the contact center, culture in action. And as I had indicated, I wanted to do something kind of unique, fun, and a little bit different. And I thought no better way to do that than to talk with someone from an organization that I think is totally cutting edge and doing something extremely cool, different, innovative, and working for a company that fulfills the same adjectives. We have, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the face, voice, and personality behind the Twitter handle of Education at Work. Whitney Barkley, who's the marketing manager at Education at Work. If you haven't had a chance to check out Education at Work, we're going to get into that in just a second. Very cool company. I'm going to ask her in a second to tell us what it is that she does. But again, this is our first attempt at doing this via Google Hangout. Hope everyone likes it. We've already had a little bit of fun trying to do the setup. Technology is not perfect, but sit back, enjoy, and have a few minutes of fun with us. Whitney, it's great to have you. Thank you for being with me and with us at hashtag ICMI chat. Tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about Education at Work, what you do there, and what Education at Work does, if you don't mind.
All right, great. Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me. Education at Work, we're a nonprofit organization here in the Cincinnati area, and we're a contact center. So what we do, we primarily hire college students who are millennials, and they gain more job skills by learning customer service, communication, and leadership skills. But at the same time, we also offer up to $6,000 of tuition assistance because ultimately our mission is really to help students graduate with less debt. And pretty much what I do here, I'm the marketing manager. So when I initially started off with campus recruiting. So I would go out and actually find students who would come and work for us and really look for students who believed in our mission. And more recently, I've been promoted to the marketing manager. So I kind of deal with some of our business-to-business functions as well as some of our student-based marketing.
Super. So what I thought would be great is because you have a mostly millennial or entirely millennial staff in your contact center, what a great springboard to talk about culture in the contact center. Everyone makes a big deal about millennials, and millennials have a very particular way of interacting and behaving and what their values are. Can you tell us a little bit about the culture in the contact center at Education at Work with the millennial population that you have?
All right, great. Well, really, our culture is really focused around our students. So our students really want a culture that is fun and engaging. And so across the board, we really try our best to make sure that we're representing that culture that students want. It's really more so about assessing their needs and wants. And something that I would say here about our culture is that it's really an all hands on deck type of deal. So, regardless of if you're the CEO or, if you're just someone on the floor, everyone pitches in to make sure that we're all, doing a great job and make sure that people feel comfortable. I would say that our culture is very open. We definitely look for feedback from our millennials here. We also definitely look for, ideas to kind of improve that culture from our students. So we kind of really base everything around them. Our whole structure and our entire existence is based on those students.
Tell us a little bit about who sets the culture. Do you think it's the millennials that set the culture, or is it the suits in the C-suite that are saying, oh no, you young kids, you gotta be like do this and that, or is it a push-pull, or is it one side's winning? Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so as I said, it's really student-based. So the people who really guide our culture, I would say it's kind of a mixture of all departments here. We really believe in working together, not working in silos, because if you work in a silo, ultimately I don't think an organization can flourish. So I would say really we have a student engagement team for one. And we work closely with our educational outreach, which in the recruiting world, or the contact center world, would be recruiting. We also work with the marketing department, and we work with members from operations as well, because we all see different facets of the contact center. So we want to make sure that all different viewpoints are represented. So I would say that we listen to what the students are saying, we try to understand those needs, and we try to put it into perspective.
Tell us, what do you think those needs are? What are the values or behavior patterns of millennials? On my side of the fence, I'm not a millennial. Some of us, we used to look at the millennials as those are the guys that have a lot of piercings and tattoos, and they've got green hair and all kinds of funky hairdos. We don't understand them, but I think we need to understand them. Tell us a little bit about that demographic and at a general level, what's important to them? What makes them tick? What makes them happy? What's it like working with them?
Okay, I would say that really, first and foremost, millennials want to work with purpose. I don't think that most millennials are just looking for just a job anymore. They're looking for something that can give value to what they're doing. What's unique about education at work is we don't want students to stay here forever. We want them to ultimately obtain their degrees while they're working with us, but we want them to move on and go into those fields they want to get into. So currently what we try to do to provide purpose, we really try to have them look at those customer experiences, and we really look for people who value bringing light to customers through their service. So I would say definitely the first need is just making sure that there's purpose within the work and making sure that you're identifying the compassion within the work to actually bring in millennials. The next need that I would say for millennials, they want to be acknowledged. Millennials definitely want to be recognized for the work that they're doing. I think that, honestly, I think that's across the board. I think everyone wants to be recognized for their hard work, but really specifically with this age group, I mean, I'm a millennial myself. I mean, I remember going through school and, always having teachers saying, good job, and pat you on the back. And I think we want that to matriculate into our careers as well. So I would say those are kind of the biggest values that we're looking for in terms of it from employers.
How do you, as a company, how do you sell to your clients or potential clients the fact that millennials are going to be the ones handling the calls? This is a group that may have a lot of life experience, it may not have a lot of life experience. It's obviously a young demographic. Do companies worry and say, oh, I'm not so sure I want the green hair or the guy with the piercing, taking care of my most important customers? How do you kind of sell that and create a sense of confidence in the mind of your client or potential client that everything's going to be okay, this is a group that's capable of handling the work?
Well, that's actually a great question. I think millennials are very capable of doing contact center work. One of the things that we really try to emphasize with clients is that we have tech savvy and energetic students, which is something that you really won't find too often. So with students, for example, with the tech savviness, we're able to reduce training times by a lot because we already have people who know how to use the computer. They're quick to pick up those things. Millennials have grown up using the computers. They've grown up with technology. So it's very easy to show them those technical skills. In terms of customer service, as I said, because millennials have such a service-oriented mentality, it's very easy to help them transition into customer service and provide those customer experiences. So I would say really just the biggest thing is just their energy and the tech savvy that they bring to an organization.
You mentioned something fascinating yesterday during the chat, the hashtag ICMI chat on culture. We got to the topic of incentives. And you mentioned that you guys have some kind of innovative ideas about how to reward the millennials. In the old days, contact center employees might get the pat on the back, they might get a small raise, might get a little cash bonus, maybe a pizza party. You came up with some interesting ideas. Could you tell us a little bit more about kind of, what a specific way to push a millennial's button is? Is it the pat on the back, or is it something tangible that you give? Is it money? Is it not money? Tell us a little bit more about what you're doing specifically if you can.
Well, I think in terms of incentives, I mean, we try to do a lot of things. Of course, our biggest incentive is offering up to $6,000 per year of the tuition assistance. That helps greatly. They say the average students graduate with at least $30,000 in debt, so that can pretty much help tremendously. Another thing that I would say that we offer a lot of flexibility in terms of an incentive. We work around students' class schedules, so they never have to really choose between going to work and going to class. Now, in terms of other things that we do to try to make it fun, as I said yesterday in our ICMI chat, I really feel like during the peak seasons, it's a party. So we try to have events like when there's a high call volume, we try to make it fun and engaging, so that way there's all those stresses that come with dealing with calls during that time. So we try to make it fun. So for example, around the holiday season, we serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner to our students. We have different raffles. We have specific days. We have like 80s day. We have like a throwback 90s day. We have like a pajama party. We bring music. If there's like a football game or basketball game or a popular movie that people want to see, we try to broadcast those things as well. So really we try to make it a fun and engaging culture that's familiar to them in their college setting while they're at work.
Awesome. It sounds great. It sounds like obviously a very fun and engaging place to work. As we wrap up here, I want to thank you. I want to give you the parting words here on the wrap-up session. Tell us last little bit of information about Education at Work, about you, about the company, something that we can all know in the ICMI chat community about you and or the company.
Okay, great. So I would just say that, as I said, Education at Work, we're a millennial-based contact center. So in terms of clients, we really are looking for clients that can relate to that millennial audience. So that way our students can relate to what our clients are trying to sell. I would also say that with Education at Work, we're a growing company, and I would say that within the next year you can expect us outside of Cincinnati, Ohio, and other areas as well.
Super. So that's Whitney Barkley, Marketing Manager at Education at Work. I've had the chance to interact with Whitney in the ICMI chat. I had no idea what Education at Work does. Unfortunately, I was curious enough and had enough push to ask her to tell me a little bit more about it. And as I learned more, I thought it was a fascinating concept in terms of what the company does. And having your level of engagement, enthusiasm, and participation, Whitney, has been wonderful for the community, for the chat. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for your candor. Thank you for your energy and valuable contribution.
No, thank you. I truly appreciate that. I truly appreciate the ICMI community, and would just encourage anyone, if they wanted to learn more about us, just to visit us at www.educationatwork.org.
Super. Whitney, thank you so much. Thank you to the ICMI chat community. Hashtag ICMI chat. Next week's session, Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern, is on workforce management. Will be a great topic and obviously something important to all of us. Thank you to everyone. Provide us feedback on this session, the wrap-up session, wrap-up time. Give us ideas, thoughts, feedback, things you'd like to see, suggestions, etc. They're obviously very welcome. Thank you to everyone. Whitney, thank you once again, and I look forward to chatting with everyone next week.
Thank you.